Hey boys and girls, today we are going to practice solving measurement problems with more than one step. So we're going to see maybe customary, maybe metric units. So we are on page 463 in your module 10 through 20 book. So let's look at that together. Remember, as we're starting, multi-step means you're going to have to do more than one thing to solve this problem. All right, brine is used to marinate a turkey before cooking. To make the brine, 16 cups of water are boiled with spices. After boiling, half the water is left. Another 3 quarts of water are added before pouring the mixture over the turkey. How many gallons of brine are poured over the turkey? So we've had cups and quarts talked about, but it wants our answer to be in gallons. So first we need to find the amount of water that is left after boiling. After boiling, half the water is left. So that would be how much? Half means we're going to divide by 2. So that means there is 8 cups. Add the additional 3 quarts of water to the brine. How many quarts are there? Okay. Well, we had 8 cups. So if we want to talk about how many quarts that is, let's think about what we're doing. We're moving from smaller to bigger. So we're going to divide that. So there are, when I draw my gallon man, there are 2 pints in a quart, and there are 2 cups in every pint, so every quart has 4 cups. So 8 cups is the same as 4 quarts. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cups in 1 quart. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to divide by 4. And that's going to give us 2 quarts. And it told us we had 3 more quarts. So that would be 5 quarts are in there. Now, we need to convert our quarts into gallons. All right, I know there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So 5 quarts is how many gallons? You can say it 2 different ways. That's going to be 1 whole gallon and 1 quart. You could say it that way, or you can say 1 1/4 gallon, because it's 1 more out of the 4 parts. So how many gallons? 1 1/4 gallons. And that's if it wants it to be just in gallons. But if you could have both, you could say 1 gallon and 1 quart. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the page. Before the turkey is put in the oven, it is tied with twine. A length of 150 centimeters is tied around the body of the turkey. 3 lengths of 160 millimeters each are used to tie the legs and each of the 2 wings. So a new roll of twine is 10 meters. If you use a new roll, how much is left? So there is a lot going on in this problem. We've got lots of different amounts used to tie it up. Then we've got this big amount that we're pulling from, and we want to see what's left. So many things are happening, but this is helping us to break apart what we're doing. So first it tells us write an expression for the total amount of twine used. So let's see what we're using. We're using 150 centimeters around the body. Then we have 3 lengths of 160 to tie the legs and the 2 wings. So 160 millimeters, 160 millimeters, and 160 millimeters. So I've got 4 different amounts that I'm using here. How many centimeters is this? So we need to convert this to centimeters. Well, first thing we need to know is that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So if we're changing them all to centimeters, I'm going to have my 150 centimeters. And then my others are going to be 16 plus 16 plus 16. Because if I'm changing 160 millimeters into centimeters, smaller to bigger, I'm going to divide by 10. So I'm going to move that decimal back, and that's going to be 16. All right. So I can add all these up, 150, and I've got 16 three times. Oops. So that's 48. 150 plus 48 is 198 centimeters is what I'm using on my turkey. Then it says write an expression for the amount of twine that remains. So remember, I've got 10 meters, take away my 198 centimeters. But in order to do that, I need to have the same units. Okay, so I want to change my meters to centimeters. I know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 10 meters is going to be, or you can change this, you can change your centimeters to meters. It's totally up to you how you do it. But if you want to change your meters to centimeters, so we're going to write 10 meters is how many centimeters. So we need to think, what do we know about centimeters? And we know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So 10 meters, if we're multiplying that by 100, is going to be 1,000. So if we had 1,000 centimeters, and I'm going to take away my 198, I'm going to have 802 centimeters. But my answer is in meters. That's why I was saying this is how I like to change it, but it's totally up to you how you change it. So I'm going smaller to bigger, so I'm going to divide. And again, I'm dividing by 100. So that would be 8 2/2 meters. Now you could have changed centimeters to meters here and had 10 minus 1 and 98/100. It's up to you how you do it. All right, if we turn to the next page, let's see. Let's do number 1. A brining recipe calls for 475 milliliters of water for every 2 kilograms of turkey. And if a turkey weighs 8 kilograms, how many liters of water are needed? So our answer needs to be in liters. You've got 475 milliliters of water for every 2 kilograms. Well, yours is 8. So it's 4 times as much as that. So first I want to multiply by 4. So that's 1,900 milliliters. Because remember, mine, that was 475 for 2. This one's 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. You'd have to multiply it by 4. And then my milliliters need to be in liters. Well, I know that there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So since I'm going smaller to bigger, I'm going to divide by 1,000. There's always a decimal here. 1, 2, 3. 1 9/10 liters. Okay, let's go to the bottom. Linda's hair was 2/3 yard long before she had it cut. She had 3 inches cut off. How many feet long was Linda's hair after she had it cut? So we've got yards, inches, but our answer needs to be in feet. They're getting us. So I'm going to go ahead and think about what I know about yards. So 2/3 of a yard. So it's not even 1 yard yet. So 1 yard I want to think about how many inches that is. So I know that 1 yard is 3 feet. So that helps me know how many inches are in a yard. Because if 1 yard is 3 feet, that's 36 inches. But I only have 2/3 of a yard. So my yard's in 3 parts and I have 2 of those parts. So that would mean 12 inches for each one. So really her hair was 24 inches long to start with, because that's 2/3 of a yard. And she cut 3 inches off, so that'd be 21 inches. And then it asks how many feet. Well, I know that 21 inches, I know there's 12 inches in 1 foot, so it's not quite 2 feet, it's 1 foot, because 21 divided by 12. And then if I subtract, I'm going to have 9 inches left, so 1 foot 9 inches. Or we can say 1 9/12, which is equivalent to 1 3/4 feet long. Alright guys, so some more measurement problems. I want you to finish this and work on that homework.